Autoline Daily is brought to you by Borg Warner, feel good about driving. Bridgestone, your journey, our passion. Dow Automotive Systems, improving durability and increasing design flexibility with Betamate structural adhesives at dowbetamate.com. And by the 2013 Hyundai Sonata. Learn more at hyundaisonata.com.
Hello and welcome to Autoline Daily, coming to you from the floor of the North American International Auto Show. This is day 2 of the press days, but we saw some news being made yesterday. Nissan announced that it is slashing the price of the Leaf. It's taking it down on a decontented model called the S to only $28,800. And you know, some people with the federal and state tax credits might get that price down under $20,000. Nissan's Carlos Ghosn told the media yesterday they're expecting to see a 20% increase in sales thanks to this. But I had to remind you viewers that means maybe they're going to sell 2,000 more Leafs in the American market. And speaking of electric cars, Cadillac finally showed us the production version of its electric car, the ELR. We know that, of course, it's based on the same technology as the Chevrolet Volt. We don't know a whole lot more about it than that. Looks like this could be priced somewhere between $60,000 and $70,000. Over at Volkswagen, meanwhile, the story is all SUVs. Boy, have they got their sights set on that segment. And they pulled the wraps off this one called the Cross Blue, which has got some styling characteristics somewhat reminiscent of the Ford Explorer. And folks, this is a diesel plug-in hybrid. It's supposedly going to have a 89 mile per gallon equivalent, and it can go 14 miles on pure electric range. Meanwhile, over at Hyundai, they pulled the wraps off this concept car. It's the HCD14. Actually, though, it's somewhat of a hint at where maybe the next Genesis could look. But squint a little bit when you look at it, is what they told us, because it's not really exactly what that Genesis is going to look like. But you might see some styling cues show up there. Honda is also going to be pulling the wraps off an urban SUV concept. We'll have more details on that when we get to our live broadcast. And remember, we'll be going live 1 p.m. today with a whole slew of people that we're going to be interviewing all over the show here. Don't miss it. And we'll be back with a look at where car sales may be going in 2013, or maybe what I really should say is truck sales.
Dow Automotive Systems, driving solutions in automotive, commercial transportation, and aftermarket with innovative products like Betamate structural adhesives. Lighter, stronger, safer. dowbetamate.com.
2012 was a pretty good year for the American auto industry. Sales jumped by well over 1 million units, about 1.7 million. The analysts say 2013 could be even better, especially on the truck side of the business. And joining me right now is Lacey Plocky, the chief economist for Edmunds.com. And Lacey, you're saying trucks are going to go up because you think there's a connection with them in the housing market.
Oh, absolutely. What we found is there's a strong correlation between pickup trucks and housing starts over time. We've seen in the last year that housing starts have risen month over month, and pickup trucks are rising as well, and we expect more of it in 2013.
So you're talking about contractors, especially, who need new trucks because of all this housing getting constructed?
Absolutely. There's been large pent-up demand for people who just didn't have enough work to justify buying a new truck, and now that they're seeing a steady stream of work ahead, they'll be going back to the market.
Now, what about the high end of the pickup trucks? I'm thinking about the Ram Longhorn, the Ford King Ranch, and that sort of thing. You wouldn't think that housing starts would drive sales of those, or is that the case?
Well, not necessarily, but you never know. I mean, there's also a personal demand element of it as well. People buy a new house, they tend to buy a new vehicle, whether it's a truck or a car or whatnot. So definitely a correlation there as well.
A rising tide will raise all truck sales, I guess,
exactly.
Is what you're saying.
Yes, exactly.
Who do you think is going to come out on top of this? I mean, do you see other, the real battle, let's face it, it's Chevrolet, Ford, and Ram. Do you see them jockeying their positions around, or sort of staying where they are right now?
I think it'll be interesting. I mean, there's probably room for share gains to be had for each of them. I mean, you've got the new Ram 1500, which just came out. People always love a new model, and it's been long coming. Same thing with the Silverado and the Sierras. These are also models that are coming out this spring. You know, long overdue for a new, or I don't know, overdue, but long, you know, long time since all new models come out. So this will attract consumers. Consumers tend to be very loyal to their truck brands, and I wouldn't count out Ford either. I mean, you know, the F-150 top-selling truck in America. So
Ford knows how to sell those trucks.
Absolutely.
Anything else we should know about the connection between housing and trucks, or is that it?
Well, I think that really covers it. You know, it's the housing market is a bright spot in the economy right now. Trucks are going to rise with it, and that's going to continue to add some juice to auto sales in the year ahead.
Well, good. Thanks so much for the update on that.
Oh,
really
sure
appreciate it. Hey, don't forget that we're going to be going live 1 p.m. today from the floor of the show. We've got a great lineup of interviews that we're going to be doing with executives in the industry. Be sure to join us for that. Get your questions in the chat room, too. I'll be answering them at the end of that webcast. But that wraps up today's report. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow.